Hello everybody, this is Alex Kraski, and today I would like to show you some tricks or some ways how I teach people English. Okay, many people nowadays they try to speak English, right? They try to study as hard as they can. They try to use as many techniques as they can. They watch a lot of TV programs, they watch a lot of movies, they read a lot of books, right? They also try to communicate, right, with some friends from abroad, and sometimes they go to some places where the same people who want to start studying English, they get together, and together they try to communicate, they try to socialize with each other, right? But let me tell you something, it's not that easy, especially if you try to communicate with the same level as yours. So for you to start speaking English, and I'm very serious about that, because trust me, for 6 years, I've been doing it for 6 years now. I realized that usually if you want to get better at what you do, you absolutely have to find somebody whose level is better than yours, and who can ask you questions, who can correct you, who can give you the right words, the right collocations, the right phrases, the right idioms that are commonly used in other countries. So that's why today I'm going to show you my techniques. That's the way I teach students. It's very simple. When we meet each other, usually now it's online. Before I met them face to face, or they say it in person, right? But in our days, at this time, right? I prefer, of course, communicate online because it's faster, it's more convenient, and usually we feel better this way. Me and my students, we feel much better when we communicate, and we both see each other on the screen. Now, that's the first thing. We meet each other, right? And then I ask them questions. For example, and this is only, of course, for students who can speak English. I mean, their level is good. It must be good. I prefer students who can speak at least basic English. They know how to communicate. They know how to say words, right? They know how to pronounce words. They know how to answer basic questions. Those questions that I'm going to ask you now, they're not simple. Some of those questions are not simple. But if I see that for you, it seems pretty difficult, then I'll ask you, of course, simpler questions, more easier questions for you. But for now, I assume that you are good at English, at speaking English, right? You're almost like fluent, but you just try to brush it up a little bit. You try to make it better, right? But your English is good. Let's assume your English is very good, maybe, right? So I'm asking you questions just to make you practice with me, just to make you start the conversation and continue this conversation till the end of our lesson. So when do you get time to pursue your hobbies? For example, when do you get time to pursue or to chase your hobbies? For example, my hobbies are reading books, listening to the music, and I can pursue my hobbies any way I can. Any way I want. I can do it at my workplace, right? I can read some books at home, and I can spend a few minutes at my office, to satisfy my hobbies. Now, however, I get more time for the same at my home during weekends and while on holidays. Now, how have your hobbies benefited you? That's a good question. So, for example, I like reading books, right? How did they benefit me, right? Very simple. My hobbies, they give me the immense benefits. They gave me huge benefits. Reading books has helped me in understanding the life with a better insight, right? So when reading books, I'm so involved in those stories. It's almost like I live this life with the characters from this book, right? I've learned the knowledge of books in both my life and my profession, right? Next, for example, I like listening to the music. Right? Music has always kept me fresh and energized. which is very important for someone who has a teaching profession, right? So sometimes I can dance, sometimes I can sing whenever I want, even when I cook, I can sing, right? Of course, when nobody listens to it. Now, what type of hobbies do the people of your generation usually have? Again, what does it depend on? Usually it depends on the age. For example, my generation, of course, is different from your generation. Maybe you're younger than me, like you're 20 years old. So, of course, your hobbies are going to be different from mine. But my hobbies, for example, like I said, for example, reading books, right? And listening to the music and traveling, of course, traveling. Probably you've got the same hobbies as me. You like traveling, you like reading books, you like, I don't know, you like whatever you like cooking, right? You like making barbecue outside, all right? You like watching movies, like you love to watch horror movies, comedies, thrillers, detectives, like action movies, whatever you like, that's your hobbies. So just name it. In addition, what other hobbies do I have? Maybe surfing, right? Chatting online, right? I can surf internet all day long. I love this. And surfing the net, watching movies online, communicate with my friends. That's almost like hobby. It became my hobby, right? So I like to communicate, chit chat with my friends, do video chats, right? That's my best hobby. I love to call to the United States, do video chats with my friends, right? With my previous coworkers, for example. For me, it's a bunch of fun. Now, why do hobbies keep changing from generation to generation? That's a good question for anybody, right? Why do they keep changing? Because probably everything, has been changing, right? All this time it's been changing all the time. For example, technology is changing, right? What else is changing? More people started to like things that they've never loved before. Like, I don't know, car racing, right? Actually, it's the same hobby. Or what has become different? Let's think about it. So you need to think with me. You need to give me answers. For example, if you like to listen some type of music, right? Long time ago, maybe people they didn't have CDs, they didn't have DVDs, they didn't even have TVs before. So before, maybe they loved to listen to people who played some musical instrument. For example, they played piano, or they played violin, right? Or they played some kind of musical instruments. I don't know, but hobbies in our past used to be very different. I'm sure of that. And you need to tell me that. Now, how do you think are hobbies useful to us? And you need to answer, like, for example, they are useful in many ways. Like, we can use our time in a creative manner, right? For example, my hobbies, painting, drawing, making sketches, and it's very creative. It's very useful for me, and they also can help us to earn our name. For example, right now, what is the favorite people? What's the favorite people's theme, right, or subject? TikTok, or whatever they call it. I'm not a big TikTok fan, right? But now, since I've been listening to all this recent news, everybody likes TikTok. So why not? Maybe in future I will be the biggest fan of TikTok, and I'm sure for somebody it's a hobby, TikTok. So anyway, I try to explain you how it works. I'm asking you questions, you answering these questions, and usually I ask questions which are not that easy. For people who use English, who speak English, I try to make it a little bit more difficult for them. Because if I give you just simple things, it's very easy to answer them. So I will try to make it harder for you. In this case, you will learn more words. And, the more questions I ask, it's like I'm bombarding you with this question. Like, for example, that's the easy question for you. What do you think? Do you think employees should be paid more for weekends, right? That's a very good question. Do you think they should be paid more? Like, for example, if you work on weekend, right? Weekends are very useful. You can go to the movies, you can play video games, You can spend it with your friends. You know, you can go to karaoke club, you can go to the bar, you can go to the discotheque. I don't know where people go now at these days, but let me tell you something. If the owner of the business is asking you to go to work on weekends, right? First of all, I think it would be really fair from him to pay you like maybe not double, but at least 1.5. You know, at least some in America they call it overtime or extra hours. So, for example, if I make $10 per hour, usually they pay me $15 per hour if I work on weekends. You know, or if I work, for example, at night, they'll pay me 1.5. So that's all I wanted to tell you. It's that's a system I use. I talk. I ask you, you answer. And then when you answer me, not the way I like it, I'll try to rephrase it. I'll try to ask you the same questions, but from different ways, you know. And I want you to answer those questions. And the answer should satisfy me. If I'm satisfied, I'll go ahead and go to some other question. So guys, you're always welcome to my classes. My name is Alex Kraski, and you always can write me the letter, or you can find me on profi.ru. Ребята, вы можете меня найти на profi.ru, и я там числюсь как учитель. Вы можете посмотреть на мои отзывы, вы можете посмотреть, как я веду уроки, там много видео. Вы также можете найти меня Алекс Краски, это на YouTube видеос, там я много видео повыставлял. Вот когда-то был известным художником, сейчас я преподаю английский, поэтому welcome to my classes. And it was a pleasure to talk to you guys. You know, hope see you next time in my classroom. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.